start at the top. But the number one complaint from men is that she never initiates. He feels unwanted, undesirable, invisible, and constant rejection erodes his self-worth until he stops trying.
Yeah. I'm always teaching my one-on-one clients, like, men are efficient. All men are efficient with their energy. And so if he, like, offers, makes a bid for intimacy and it's ignored or declined, like, it's easy to read this complaint and think like, "Oh, he tried like 13 times and then he stopped trying."
Mhm.
Usually he'll try 1 or 2. And so that's the trick for women, is to really pay attention to the bids he makes
Mhm.
and respond differently. Doesn't mean you have to be all in if you're not. But I think it's so important to recognize how efficient men are with their time,
Mhm.
and to, when he makes an effort, to really be there for it.
And something I'll say for the men experiencing this, that she never initiates. I know there's some men in relationship who feel that she never initiates, and they're having sex once a month, like once every 3 months. And that's definitely gonna feel like she never initiates. And she might not. There could be many reasons why she doesn't, but, like, something that I wanna name for the men experiencing this is the male sex drive works very differently than the female sex drive. There's completely different mating strategies, and the male sex drive is going to feel like ready for sex on a daily basis effectively. Like, he could ejaculate every single day. Like, he could, and I'm sure a lot of men have, especially when you're in your 20s, even in your 30s. As you get a little older, it shifts quite a bit for you. But it's like, to a man who feels like he could have sex every day or 3 times a day, I don't know there's many women who are gonna be able to keep up at that pace. And from one perspective, it can feel like she never initiates because he's always ready. So, like, his demand and expectation is gonna be higher biologically when he's feeling that impulse for sex, right? So that too is also gonna skew his perception of the situation, which we just wanna be mindful of, right? But the other thing is, like, he feels unwanted, undesirable, and invisible. One of the key things when I just worked with this group of men, a few weeks ago, one of the key things they ultimately figured out that they wanted was to feel desired by her.
Mm.
They wanted her to desire him. And I said to the group, I said, okay, you've identified what you want. You want her to feel something that to you seems like she isn't feeling, right? So you want her to change what she feels. God, we'll get into that. But I asked them, I said, do you think she wants to feel desired by you? And a lot of the men were like, yeah, yeah, she wants to feel desired. Yeah, she does want that too. And then there was one guy and he goes, wait a minute, wait a minute. I goes, Justin, I think if my wife were here and you asked that question, she wouldn't say yes to that. I don't think she would want to be desired by me. And I asked the question expecting some of the men to come to that answer for themselves. Maybe she doesn't want to be desired by me. And it was in that moment where I helped him see that that word desire that he's referring to and he thinks she's referring to is a quality he's embodying when he desires her that is not something she wants from him. So what is his desire? It's probably shallow breath. leaning in, grabby, touchy, not very present. Um, there's a hunger in him that gets expressed that kind of is off-putting to her, and she says, "I don't want that. I don't want your desire." But what I helped him realize is that she does want to be desired, but it's gonna need to look a different way than what you've been bringing, because she's a no to the way you currently desire her. But she's a very big yes to being desired by you. It's just how are you embodying your desire where that becomes a yes for her. And so one of these pieces about like she never initiates and you feel unwanted, undesired, invisible. I think also we need to look at is how does a man initiate? How, like, when she does start to tease him or offer something, can he just receive that and be present, or does he lean in, rush? Does she get this kind of embodiment where she goes, "Ah, geez, I regret that. There's nothing there for me. There's no pleasure in that for me. So I'm gonna stop riling him up because when I do, there's no